What is up, design family, and welcome back to another episode of Fittdesign TV. As always, so glad to have you lovely folks back on the channel. On today's episode, we'll be looking at how to design sportswear, activewear, athleisure wear that is going to psychologically drive your customer to perform better, to feel better, and ultimately to come back time and time again because your product is giving them that sense of satisfaction. Why is psychology so important, and how do we design? How do we think about colors? How do we think about fabrics? How do we think about branding and messaging in a way that is going to enhance the psychology of our customers to create the best and top tier products out there? Well, this is a uncovered topic that I'm going to uncover in today's episode. So if you guys are interested in learning more about how you can make the best product on the market, well, watch this episode. You guys are in for a good one. Welcome to Fittdesign TV. Are you interested in sports fashion, design, and manufacturing? Are you establishing your own brand? You're looking good. Anthony, how are we doing? Do you want to? Thank you. Well, you've come to the right place. Lights, camera, action. So let's get right into the episode. Can clothing actually have a psychological impact and affect the way that we perform, affect the way that we move in the gym, affect our weights that we put up, affect the way that we enhance our abilities to shoot better, to perform better, to box better? Of course they can. And designing in a way that can enhance each of our athletes' capabilities is going to be the edge that we need to really create clothing that is not only beautiful but also functional. Clothing has such an impact in terms of how we see ourselves. Whether it's a formal suit that makes you feel that much sharper, that puts a pep in your step and makes you walk that much taller, or it is a pair of high-waisted leggings that makes you look great, feel streamlined in your body. Ultimately, clothing has a tremendous impact to actually improve the way that not only that we see ourselves, but psychologically and physically, the way that we expend ourselves. So what are the key features? What are the key details that we need to focus on as designers so that we can enhance the way that our customers feel about themselves and the way that they perform? Well, we'll get right into it, and this is going to start off with number one, which is the colors that we incorporate into our sportswear pieces. Color, as we all know, is an important part of any garment, and picking the color correctly is going to go a long way towards emphasizing a specific mood, a specific ability, a specific feeling that we want in the wear. Let's look at colors that ultimately cover a wide range of the spectrum. We have red on one side, we have blue, we have our pastels, we have our neutrals. We have so much variety, but when it comes to sportswear, what are we trying to achieve? Well, if I'm trying to go for energy, then definitely I'm going to use high contrast, saturated colors with a ton of vibrancy. A great example is Nike's Pro Combat line that always features bright colors, potent colors, colors that have a lot of punch, volts, royal blues, deep, dark reds, just with a lot of punch to them. These kinds of colors can go a long way towards motivating your athletes, creating an energy in the wear that honestly comes from another space. So use color to your advantage. On the flip side, if you wanted to create a color scheme that is more enhanced towards serenity, towards slowness in movement, towards calmness, then perhaps neutrals, earthy tones, colors that are closer to skin tones are going to be more of what you want to go for. Or if you want to go for something that is more neutral, it's more balanced, it's more minimalistic, then going for colors that are more desaturated. They're more versatile. They have more variety that can make your wear feel more anonymous, more under the radar, and just ultimately a little bit more stealthy. Well, then you want to go for colors like blacks, whites, grays, navies, burgundies, olives. Colors that, sure, they may stand out in some areas, but colors that also have a lot more versatility to them. So pick and choose which color scheme is going to work best for you. For performance, go for colors that pack a punch. For serenity, go for color schemes that have a little bit more of an earthiness to them. And for minimalism, for versatility, go for colors that you can see in your everyday wear. Next up, we have materials. When you think about materials, most people just think about the hand feel of the garment, but little attention is given to the fact that a great material can also enhance the mood of the wear. Let's look at specific examples here. Let's just say you're creating garments for winter seasons. Well, you're going to want to pick thicker fabrics, knitted fabrics that are going to block out the air. They're going to protect you against the elements. They're going to be fleeced on the inside to prevent and to actually allow for thermal insulation. Why do you want this? Is it just the nature of the fact that since this is winter, then we should have thicker fabrics? Or is it the fact that if I'm creating fabrics that are going to make you feel more warm, more cozy, then you're more likely to gravitate towards those garments? You want to be selective about the finishes you use on your fabrics. Let's just say I'm designing loungewear or garments that are specifically meant to be used at home. Well, I'm going to go for fabrics that are brushed, that are fleeced, fabrics that have a little bit more of softness to them, that are treated as such to make them feel as pillowy and as cloudy as possible. Again, this goes back to the psychology of the wearer. When it comes to the way that people perceive their garments, it's going to go off of the hand touch first and then off of the performance. So the way that people interact and engage with their garments when they're putting them on, how soft they feel, is going to have a correlation towards how they think about the brand that they're wearing it from. Another great example is compression wear. You wouldn't want to use fleece fabrics for compression wear, but on compression wear, you may want to use an interlock fabric, a fabric that's a medium weight, that's highly compressive, that has just enough stretch so that it's compressing you in all the right places. Why would you want to use this specific fabric for compression wear? Well, just think about the types of people that are using compression wear. These are going to be athletes, or these are going to be amateurs that actually take their fitness seriously. They're going to be relatively low body fat. They're going to be people that hit the gym regularly. You want these people to feel great in your garments. You want to see them or make them feel as if they're making progress when they put on your shirts, when they put on a compression shirt made with your fabric. Well, you want them to feel as if all of the hard work they're putting in the gym is actually paying off. And this is what selecting the right material with the right slickness, with the right weight, with the right finish, with the right compression is going to do. It's going to hug you in the right places. It's going to fit you. It's going to pull on your skin in the right places. It's going to compress you where you need to be compressed. That way you can promote blood flow, you can have better recovery, and ultimately you can just look at yourself in the mirror and feel better about yourself and associate that feeling to the garment that you're wearing. Another great example of how materials can actually enhance the psychology of the wearer is in something like footwear. Nike came out with the Flyknit material a couple of years ago, and ever since, the entire boot industry has been completely changed. Why is Flyknit so effective? Well, Flyknit does three key things. Number one is it creates a seamless fit around the leg, something that we haven't been able to achieve before with traditional cut and sew method. Two is it allows really for personalization, for self-expression. You have all of these Flyknit uppers with a wide variety of different knit patterns, different color schemes that you can really use to elevate yourself and to really push and to stand out from the crowd. This is number two, is it allows you to create a sense of personal identity. And then ultimately, three is that it doesn't put a damper on the production technique of the garment. Just because it's a superior functionality does not mean that it should also be much more expensive. The Flyknit was also cheaper to produce, and you're able to mass produce it and get it out to a tremendous amount of people. The more people wearing these products, the more accepted within society it was. This is also very important to think about psychology. Is it's no use in creating something that is unique, but because of how expensive it is, because of how technical it is, you can't get it out to the masses. At the end of the day, yes, people want to feel special, but they also want to know that what they're wearing is also accepted within their colleagues and within what is deemed as the professional attire for a specific sport or a specific activity. Last, when it comes to the psychology of your wearer, and the last tool in your kit bag is going to be the branding, the messaging, how you imbue the garment with a sense of purpose, a sense of being, and a sense of reason to exist. Great examples of this are going to be Nike, ASRV, and even Athlete. These are three brands that have core messaging at the sort of basis of what their brands are based off. Nike has Just Do It. Just Do It is an idea that no matter what challenge you face, no matter what obstacle ahead, just go ahead and do it. Put one foot forward, take one stride in the right direction, and find yourself moving closer and closer to your target. This messaging not only exists on the products themselves, but exists on the packaging, exists on the website, in the video ads. It exists across a wide range of messaging platforms that Nike is able to create in order to deepen that sense of identity and messaging. And sure, even within the garments, whether it's on the waistband, whether it's on the shorts in a 3M reflective print, whether it's even in a laser cut pattern that is applied onto the garment, you have this subtle messaging that goes throughout. And this is what always keeps it at the back of your mind. It creates depth to the messaging. Also, we have Athlete. Athlete has learn more, dream more, be more. This is the ethos or the core tenets of the brand. They're consistently reminded to you across their website, their packaging, on the garments, on their drawstrings, on their trims, all of the different elements that you can use to actually get across that messaging. Lastly, we have ASRV, which is relentless pursuit. The idea that self-improvement and getting better and achieving a life that is worth living is a continuous pursuit towards that end goal. They also use every single tool in their arsenal to continuously reinforce that idea. And this is the power of messaging. This is how you can enhance your garments to just have your garment or your wearer, when they put on your garment, to feel the ethos of the brand, to always be consistently reminded. Sure, you can hear something once and you can remember it, but having that positively reinforced time and time again through the garment is going to create a connection between your wearer, the garment they're wearing, and the brand that you're selling. So what did we learn on this episode? Ultimately, we learned the power of identifying and creating a psychology-driven design detail for our garments. We have colors that we can use to create different moods and different feels with our athletes. We have different types of personal messaging, different branding types that we can use to push the story and the narrative of the brand forward and to make our wearers feel a specific way. And then we have materials. Materials not only perform from a functionality standpoint, but the way that they stretch, the way that they move with the body, the way that they feel on the skin, the way they feel when being put on the wearer goes a long way towards creating a sense of quality, a sense of heritage, a sense of functionality, and a sense of purpose to the garments that your wearers are wearing. So guys, let me know which of these tips you guys enjoyed the most and you believe that you can carry on into your next upcoming collection. I'd love to see what you guys use or how you guys use these tips in practical ways across your collections. If you guys enjoyed this episode, please consider smashing a massive thumbs up. It really does help us out. It keeps us motivated, keep pumping out this content for you. So from the very bottom of my heart, until next time, we'll speak soon.